Hi, it's another beautiful day in Coto de Caza, and today we're going to learn how Coto de Caza got its name. Not the name Coto de Caza, but the original name of our valley called Canada Gobernadora. So the Spanish Franciscans, when they came out to explore our hills, they had never seen chaparral before. They had no idea what it was, but they did identify three types of chaparral areas. One's called the chamisal, which simply means thicket, and that is an environment where you have mostly thickets, and in our case it's what we call today the chamise plant, Adenostoma fasciculatum. There's also what they called chamisal grande, which is a big thicket. Now that's a red shank plant, and that is Adenostoma sparcifolium. And there's a third type of environment they called madroño. Now madroño is the name of a plant in Spain called the Spanish tree, or the strawberry tree, and the strawberry tree looks like manzanita. So the three types of chaparral they had were a thicket, a big thicket, and the manzanita. So our hillside is the chamisal, or sometimes the chamizo, which later would be given the name to the thicket chamise. Now in his 1806 diary, the Franciscan Munoz, he describes these plants as being rosemary, and he also introduces us to the term Gobernadora. And Gobernadora basically refers to the dominant species in an environment. So Gobernadora literally means ruler or governor, and the ruler of the hillside down here would be called the Gobernadora. Now he specifically gave this name Gobernadora to a plant called the Laria tridentata. Now the Laria tridentata is a creosote plant, or a greasewood. Now completely unrelated to the chamise. The chamise is also a type of greasewood plant. It has oils in it that burn to help it grow in chaparral environments. When there's a fire, they reseed and they propagate quite nicely. So the term greasewood was referred to our Laria tridentata, and then it was also transferred to our plant, the chamise, and hence the term stuck. Hi, we are in Riley Wilderness Park in Wagon Wheel Canyon, and this here is our chamise, Adenostoma fasciculatum. So this is a greasewood type plant, and that refers to the oily substances in the leaves, which are in fact flammable, and it contributes to wildfires. So although it was a mistake, the term Gobernadora, it stuck with our chamise plant and became the name of our canyon, and we start to discover it in the grant deeds that were issued out by the governor to Mexican citizens during the rancho days of early California.
In 1821, Mexico won its independence from Spain, and the new governors of Alta California began to hand out land grants to the prominent citizens of the new country and their friends as well. Now, our land grant is called Rancho Trabuco, and Rancho Trabuco was first given to Santiago Arguello and then later purchased by John Forster. Here's John Forster's claim in 1846. This is called a diseño, and a diseño is simply a map or diagram of the claim. Now down here we have Alisos y Iguada. Alisos means trees and refers to the alders that we find down by Aliso Creek in Mission Viejo, and Iguada simply means location for water. This is the Lemuria, or the lower hills. Now keep in mind, these are drawn out for cattle and sheep farming, so you'd say, okay, I could have cattle in the lower hills here. We also have the Mesa del Trabucazo, which is Trabuco Mesa today. Now, Mesa de Trabucazo is named after a gun called a blunderbuss, which is a trabuco. And legend has it that one day, a long time ago, the Spaniards lost a trabuco, or this gun in the canyon, so they called it Trabuco Canyon. Here is the adobe ranch house that used to be right about the bridge on Trabuco Creek. And here is Canada de la Gobernadora, the canyon of the thickets. And it's very inhospitable to cattle, so they would put it on here to help make the property less expensive. And here's a different view from a different decenio. We have Los Alisos Creek on the bottom, Trabuco Canyon, and Coto de Caza on the top. And of course, here's our two beautiful golf courses in Coto de Caza.
Now, the name Gobernadora, even though it was given to the Laria tridentata and adopted by our own chamise plant, it continues today, but it's not used in the same context because people don't know why the original Gobernadora name. So Gobernadora, it means the wife of the governor. It means the governor's mistress. It means a governess or somebody that oversees like an abbey or a convent. And it means governess like Mary Poppins. Now she's a governess that takes care of children. Now the Laria tridentata has a lot of herbal features that make it very medicinal. And it's used to help cure a lot of illnesses. And people say, oh, it's called a Gobernadora because it's like a governess that takes care of children and sick people. So it must be called the Gobernadora. And that's not right. And another thing is these plants, both the chamise and the Laria tridentata, they have very good root structures that steal the water or the nutrients from the soil from the plants around them. So they basically suffocate and kill the plants around them with their good root structure. So they call it a mistress, so it must be called a Gobernadora. But, you know, that's wrong too. But unfortunately, you know, the names change and the reasons why names change all the time. But today we do know it's because of my video. The Gobernadora is really just the dominant species on a hillside.